bumping away and streaming for all to see. El Cachorro, El Cachorro. We should draw superheroes here today for you and me. El Cachorro, El Cachorro.
What's up, Cachorros? Time for our second movie review. This one is Werewolves. Hey, look, I knew going in this was a B movie all the way around. Okay, so I wasn't expecting high hopes on this. It was directed by Stephen Miller. The big thing here, it has stars Frank Grillo, famous from the MCU as Crossbones. Don't even have him on here, but the other big one was Lou Diamond Phillips. Hey, when I was a younger, skinnier guy, Lou Diamond Phillips was a bigger name back then. Known for his TV stuff, and he does some slide movies and stuff like that. The other people of real mention here would be Lucy, played by Lainish Hadera, Amy, played by Katrina Law, and Cody James Michael Cummings. And then we got some side people. So, I was just hoping for B-movie fun. It's kind of doing, it was just okay. Special effects was the wolves were more. They were not. For the most part, didn't use CGI wolves. There was practical effects with the wolves, but they didn't. I don't think they looked too great. The story was B movie-ish fun. Then it falls apart towards the end and gets really super tropey, which is going to affect my rating a little bit. So yeah, so the story was just kind of was okay, and then it sucks. Special effects were blah and everything like that. So originally I was going to leaning towards a 5, but then the ending was so like ridiculously overdone. I dropped it down to a 4. IMDb ratings 4.7, so I'm actually below that. Let's see here. This movie did any good here. Well, no, it's gross. I don't even have a budget. It don't even have the budget. It grossed worldwide $2 million. Wow. Wait, that don't make sense. US and Canada is 1.8. Oh, because it didn't even open anywhere else. So as well. So yeah, there's nothing really happened from there. There's a picture of the werewolf. So I don't even have the budget. So yes, it was a flop. Way too many flashing lights. All right, so the breakdown of this one. I don't know why the hell is it showing Baywatch. Okay, whatever. So we start in an ongoing universe. So there was a supermoon, a year prior. That's when the moon comes super close to the Earth, and anyone who's exposed to moonlight turned into a werewolf. So millions of people turned into a werewolf and killed. Don't really say how many people got killed. So we open in this movie is they're prepping for the next because they're about to have the next supermoon. And this is the day of the supermoon. You think honestly, if you knew this was coming, you think there'd be some way more precautions. So we start with Frank Grillo is at his what's his character name? I'm trying to remember his character name here. Wesley is at Lucy's house. Lucy and Emma. They are his brother's widow and daughter. His brother died. I'd assume is something to do with the werewolves the year before. I don't know I can't remember if it said it or not. So he's like he's putting up all these things up. He's nailing up the windows and boarding up the doors and has cameras everywhere and set up this self-defense electrical fences and all these like traps around the house to protect them. Meanwhile, their crazy neighbor Cody is just shooting guns crazily, and maybe Rick's got to get out, and Wesley gets on and say, "Hey man, you're shooting at my house, man. There's a kid inside." So he gets them all prepared, and then Wesley's going off to a lab because he's he's kind of a scientist, I guess, too. He's a big, buff, badass scientist, because that's how scientists work. Going to the lab of Dr. Ananda, who's Lou Diamond Phillips, and Katrina Law, because they are prepping for they're trying to solve the problem. So they have I guess they're all volunteers, that they're going to try out this thing on to see if they can stop them from transforming if they're hit by the moon. So everybody's got these fancy suits on to protect themselves from the moonlight. The guys are got collars on, and they're in these cages, and they put something in their eyes to protect their eyes, and then they, I guess, spray them down with this substance they're called moon screen. And then they open the skylight to let the moonlight in, because now they aimed it perfectly when the moon's right over top of them. And at first, it's working. But then it wears off. After a few hours, they find out it only lasts for so long, and it starts wearing off. People start transforming in the cages. Of course, they break free. Lou Diamond Phillips gets exposed to the moonlight. His suit gets torn, so he gets exposed to the moonlight. So he starts transforming. Was he bitten? No, something. So he got something, and he's turned into a wolf. So he's turned into a wolf, and so Wesley's got to go with Amy, and they're like trying to get through they're trapped in this building because they really did not think this through well enough to know in case they didn't have a very good contingency plan. I mean, they had guys down there with guns and stuff like that, but they were just easily picked apart because no one was ready to fire. It was like, this was really, really badly set up. It was like an experiment. So it's all about them trying to get to safety and get help. A couple werewolves come close to Lucy's house, but they kind of get deterred by the other things around it, and they're making sure they're not making any noise. Obviously, don't bring attention to them. But Cody has not done much with his protection, and he's just ready to start shooting things. And the werewolves end up throwing something through his window that knocks him out and knocks his mask off, so he's exposed to moonlight, so he transforms into a wolf. And supposedly, I guess when you transform into a wolf, you have some consciousness, because he knows that there's two girls in that house. So he's working on trying to get in. So the traps start failing. She calls Wesley saying she's in trouble, that they're struggling. And she also has a shotgun, and she's just like wasting bullets at some points. They're like just shooting randomly at the walls and ceiling and stuff like that. It's like, why are you wasting your bullets? So the whole point now is Wesley and Amy have to get all the way across town back to their house. They have some moon screen at some point. At one point, they had to like cover themselves with a tarp while they're running. Of course, they have some werewolf run-ins. They are able to get past. There was a militia group that had a gun tank at one point that they stuff like that, and so they're there's a half wolf thing at one point that I guess they sedated her. I think that's what they did on her. Can't even kill a kid now. Of course, a werewolf ends up getting Amy, but so Wesley's driving back. Meanwhile, at the house, the werewolves are starting to break their way in, and so here's the thing for me. So you've had a year to prep for this. I just saw a goddamn panic room. Right? You don't have a panic room that you can go out and have a man. If you knew this was happening in a year, you think panic rooms would be like the high end thing that everybody would be getting. Panic rooms, the hide in for the night. You know, no panic room. They don't even try and go down and like hide in their basement, so they're just like staying in their house to fight off these wolves that are trying to break in. And so they're like fending off the wolves, and then Wesley shows up. He pretty much a lot of the wolves were taken down. But he hits Cody with the truck, werewolf Cody, pins him against like a wall, and then he goes into the family, and because he's still got the moon screen, and everything's all good. It's 15 minutes till this moon goes down, so everything's looking good. They're going to survive the night. Oh, but Cody wakes back up and he's pushing the truck away and he's getting free. At this time, it just so happens that the moon screen is also wore off on Wesley, who then decides that the only way to protect his family for the next 15 minutes is to let himself get turned into a werewolf so he can fight Cody. Werewolf Cody. So they fight. There was a werewolf battle between the two. He obviously beats the other one. But now he's a werewolf and now he's coming after him. Now he wants to kill the family. He was able to remember who he was enough to fight the other werewolf, but now he wants to kill the family. So we get to the point where the woman's like trying to resist. She got the shotgun. She found another bullet. She's trying not to shoot him, and then there's like a clock goes off. Something goes off, and she's turning, and she shoots the wall, and sunlight comes in, and then boom, he's turned back into a human instantly. And there we go. Happy ending until the next supermoon. So I was already the B movie campiness. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, fight. He saves the family. But then when they did the whole, I gotta let myself turn into a werewolf. They're 15 minutes from daylight. Like 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure it was like only 15 minutes before sunrise. And he's like, I have to let myself turn into a wolf to fight. And then he's now he's coming after them. It's like that's just such a horrible ending. It was such a ridiculously bad ending. So that really tanked the movie for me a lot there. So it was all right. It was a B movie, fun. 5. Maybe I could have gave it a 6, but that ending just was felt so overused. Felt like it's an ending I've seen before. So that kind of really dropped down the movie. So yeah, this was not a good B movie. So it's a 4. Usually, I'm pretty generous with my movie ratings, so it's hard to get down below. But yeah, I'm giving that one a 4. So there's my review of Werewolves. Next time, Cachorro out.